Welcome back to Romans Academy. As always, we'll be diving into the world of photography, but which part are we doing today? Well, we're hoping for some sweet success and some bite-sized beauty. Yes, we're looking at desserts, and I'm going to be giving you the tips and tricks on how to know which composure to use, which lighting setups to use, and to make sure that you nail that shot every single time. We'll be exploring the different types of dessert photography, and I'll be sharing you 4 tips on making sure that you can choose the right shot every time. Dessert photography is all about making sure it looks completely delicious and overwhelmingly appetizing. Whether you're a food blogger, Instagram enthusiast, or you're like myself and looking to up your dessert game. Understanding the different types of dessert photography can really help you understand which shots will work better for different desserts. So there are 4 main types of dessert photography. First up, we've got lifestyle dessert photography, which is all about invoking emotion and telling a story of setting the scene. Think of it as your more classic artistic. You've got dessert box photography, which is all about presenting it from an eco-commerce point of view and getting the point of what it'd be looked if it was packaged to you. Great for people like cafes, bakeries. Its sole purpose is to hit those highlights of appeal to potential buyers. We can't talk about desserts until we talk about weddings. Weddings is a prime time and a prime perfect location to be capturing the celebration of the wedding dessert. So whether we're looking at your 3-tier cakes, cupcakes galore, or a simple dessert tables with a romantic touch. And finally, one of my personal favorites is dessert macro shots. This is where we quite literally get up close and personal, and we're looking at more of things like your spoon shots and making sure that we reveal those intricate details and textures. One of the hardest things we have when we look at dessert photography is looking at the dessert and knowing which shot to take. So here is my speed run for you. Pies are your classic nostalgia and we're looking for that rustic, warming feeling. So therefore, natural light and golden hour is your prime time location, making sure that you capitalize on that golden crunch and the juicy filling. And you can even add a little bit of extra flair, whether you're looking at the magic of ice cream or whipped cream. So with this particular one, you're going to be looking at one of 3 shots. You're going to be looking at either the overhead shot, the 45 degree for appeal of wanting to quite literally eat it, and the completely flat on. The flat on will allow you to see the layers of an individual slice, while the overhead will give you the symmetry and harmonious feeling of being symmetrical. Brownie bites is my personal favorite, and this is where things get slightly more complex because you're looking at doing things in the rule of odds. Keeping things on a slightly different situation, again, you might want to do a stack or you might want to create a pattern, but make sure those patterns are interesting and dynamic by incorporating a little bit of triangle composition or looking to add some of that leading lines with some dripping sauce. Cheesecakes are all about that smooth, buttery texture, and it's about making sure that we incorporate that beauty within it. So very similar to your pie, you're going to be looking at that side layers or an overtop for a harmonious look, depending on which feeling you're going for. Chocolate desserts, creme brulees, lychee plans, pavlovas, these all are about making sure that we understand the texture involved with it. Creme brulee, we're obviously wanting to capitalize on the crust of that caramelized top. Juices, we're looking for that smooth, decadent feeling, so therefore scooping out one individual piece of it will enable them to see the bubbles and the textures involved with the dessert, making it absolutely to die for. Pavlovas are obviously fantastic, but we're looking for the vibrancy to come from the fruit and the texture to come from the meringue. Keeping those 2 things balanced is quite interesting, and I do actually recommend that you probably go for a straight-on look for this one because it enables you to capture both very nicely. If you go for the top-down look, it's going to look flat and you're going to lose the impact of the dessert. Rasgulla, apologies if I got that wrong, is an Indian dessert which is typically white and spongy, and it's all about that simplicity of the balls. Particularly enjoy taking a shot of this to make sure it was visually appealing. And of course, I had to try it myself. Rasmali is another ball to soft cream, but it has saffron in it, and therefore it's about incorporating those beautiful rich colours and making sure you get that emphasis of that slightly yellow hue in it. Tiramisu, another classic layer, so anything with layers, trifles, tiramisu, that kind of stuff, then you're going to want to be able to do it from the side to make sure that you can incorporate as many things as you can. Oh, eaten mess. Blue desserts are obviously problematic because it's not a natural colour apart from blueberry, and therefore making it be able to stand out is about making sure that you balance those colours appropriately. I actually find that monotone is works out particularly well for this one, or making sure that you capture the vibrant blue hues to create an eye-catching image. Therefore, thinking about your backdrop for this particular one is a significant. So before you take any steps in making sure that you plan this right, you need to make sure that you're considering the dessert's texture. If you're looking for something like a smooth ice cream, custard, or sorbet, then you're looking for that smooth texture. Therefore, it's important to be able to embrace that. Getting closer to it will enable you to pick out the individual textures to make sure that you're telling the story. However, if you're looking for something more that's layered, like a creme brulee or a tiramisu, then macro photography is going to be able to highlight those individual features. Think about the story you're trying to tell. It allows you to set the scene and enable them to envisage themselves eating it. My favourite bit. What is the purpose of the photo? What are you intending on using the photo for? If you're looking for e-com, then you're going to be wanting to look for more of that editorial style, that macro shot, and really getting up close and personal. However, if you're looking for more about the box photography kind of things, and you're looking to make sure that you understand that it's being shipped out, then you're going to want to do the box style, because it's going to be easier for you to demonstrate what it's going to look like when it turns up. Nothing quite like setting an expectation. And as always, don't forget that you need to make sure that you use natural lighting where possible, because it's soft diffused lights highlights the textures and the colours and enables you to give a balance of a realistic look. As when it comes to the desserts, I have found that leading lines, negative space and triangles are probably more along the lines of the things that I go for, instead of things like the rule of thirds. Props will always help you tell your story, especially if you're looking for more of that still life photography, and it enables you to enhance the overall layers. Really, really important if you're looking for something quite simplistic. And as always, you know how I feel about backdrops and the impact that it can have on the overall vibe of your shot. So make sure that you're picking the right one. If these have helped you or inspired you in any way, please make sure that you capture your sweet treats and tag me in them. But don't forget, before you run away to get started, that you need to hit like and subscribe to have more of these helpful tips. As always, thank you for watching and happy clicking.